Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, June 5th. This is Gina McGuire. Over the next few days, we'll continue to see a very similar pattern of warm and breezy conditions with low relative humidity over the southern half of the Great Basin. The areas shaded in orange will generally see wind gusts between 25 and 35 miles per hour at times, with relative humidity in the single digits to low teens. Further north, we will see some isolated showers and thunderstorms today over parts of central and northern Nevada into northern Utah and up into Idaho. However, we'll see a little bit more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity Wednesday and Thursday, again mainly across Idaho, possibly into far northeast Nevada and northern Utah. These thunderstorms will produce gusty outflow winds, but also will have some rainfall associated with them. Over the last 24 hours, we've only seen a few lightning strikes in the far north with very light amounts of precipitation, with warm and dry conditions elsewhere across the basin. Great Basin fire activity has been picking up over the last week. We have had light initial attack yesterday, but we did see a few new large fires over the last several days over parts of western Nevada and into northern Utah. Looking at the last 7 days, precipitation has been targeted over the northern two-thirds of the Great Basin, with the heaviest amounts over far northeast Nevada, northern Utah, and really up into Idaho and Wyoming. Looking at the percent of normal precipitation over the last 30 days, the image on the right shows generally above normal precipitation where we saw those more consistent periods of showers and thunderstorms over the northern half of Nevada, up into western Utah, and up into Idaho. However, we have seen much drier conditions in some of these areas over the last week. How this is reflected in our current fuel moistures, ERCs have been on the rise across the basin with the above normal temperatures we've been seeing recently and the very dry conditions. We are seeing some ERCs now above the 50th or 60th percentile across northern Nevada. However, the highest ERCs are where conditions have been driest and warmest the longest over the Arizona Strip, southern and eastern Utah, where ERCs are above the 80th or 90th percentile. Also, these ERCs, especially in southern and southeast Utah, are near historical highs for the time of year. Looking back a little bit further west where our ERCs are lower across northern and western Nevada, we still have carryover grasses from last year along with new growth that is drying out significantly and will continue to dry out over the next week, and that will continue to contribute to fire spread across those areas despite the lower ERCs. Looking at our live fuel moistures are lowest over southern and eastern Utah and are near historical lows for the time of year. Further north, we're seeing sagebrush fuel moisture near normal over the rest of the northern half of Nevada and Utah, and sagebrush fuel moisture above normal still across Idaho and Wyoming. The satellite loop from this morning shows a ridge of high pressure over the Rocky Mountain area with general southwest flow over much of the Great Basin. This pattern will continue for the next few days, and this is largely what will be contributing to our gusty southwest winds and dry conditions over southern areas, and areas of low pressure will move across the northern areas, bringing those showers and thunderstorms. We will see a much stronger trough of low pressure move in this weekend, which will bring much stronger winds and some cooler temperatures. Now looking at the weather pattern for later this afternoon, again those gusty southwest winds will continue over southern areas with drier conditions over much of the Great Basin today. However, we still could see a few isolated thunderstorms over parts of central and northeast Nevada up into northern Utah and southern Idaho. Coverage will likely be low with only very light amounts of precipitation. Fire potential will remain low to moderate, especially over southern and eastern areas of the Great Basin. Looking at relative humidity today, we will see those single-digit relative humidities over the southern half of the Great Basin, and it will increase into the low teens over much of Nevada, and then much higher relative humidities across Idaho. The gusty winds are shown in the image on the right, and you can see general wind gusts between about 25 and 30 miles per hour, with local gusts up to 35 over southern Nevada, southern Utah, and the Arizona Strip. On Wednesday, very similar conditions. However, we will see a little bit more moisture move over northern areas. Therefore, we will see an increase in thunderstorm coverage tomorrow across Idaho, possibly into far northern Nevada, along with better chances of precipitation generally across Idaho. Still, those breezy southwest winds will continue over the southern areas, with low to moderate fire potential in the south and east, and obviously very low potential over Idaho, which will continue this week. On Wednesday, very similar conditions with respect to relative humidity and winds, with single-digit relative humidities in the south, along with those gusty winds. On Thursday, still a very similar pattern with moisture moving across the north with scattered showers and thunderstorms and dry and breezy conditions in the south, with very little change to our fire potential, although you are seeing some drying occurring over now northeast Nevada into northern Utah by the end of the week. Relative humidity very similar on Thursday to the last few days, and those gusty winds on Thursday mainly move a little bit further east, targeting the Arizona Strip and Utah. However, wind gusts still remain in that 25 to 35 mile per hour range. Overall forecast amounts of precipitation are shown here, with most precipitation really focused across Idaho into Wyoming. As we move into Friday, we will see some of those winds decrease a little bit in the south. However, we have a much stronger area of low pressure that will be dropping down for the weekend, and this will bring much stronger winds. However, on Friday, we'll only see those winds in the west and north pick up a little bit, with still some moisture in the north for some isolated showers and thunderstorms across Idaho. Fire potential remains very similar on Friday. However, we will be seeing very warm and dry conditions lingering now for about a week as we go into this weekend. Looking at Saturday, this is when the next strong trough and cold front gets pushed through the Great Basin. We will see winds increase significantly across really all of Nevada and Utah and up into Idaho. However, those winds combined with dry conditions will occur across much of Nevada, Utah, and the Arizona Strip. We will see fire potential increase over western and central and parts of eastern Nevada, along with continuing to increase over southern and eastern areas. These wind gusts will be much stronger than the wind gusts we've seen recently, and relative humidity will still remain quite low on Saturday. Temperatures will start to decrease as we move through Saturday and Sunday as that cold front pushes through the Great Basin. Therefore, the temperatures that we have been seeing that have been around 5 degrees above normal will drop to a few degrees below normal as we move through the weekend, especially across the northern half of the Great Basin. Still breezy and dry conditions will continue on Sunday, especially over the southern and eastern half of the area. We will continue with that low to moderate fire potential. We may even see an introduction of some high risk for the windy and dry conditions both Saturday and Sunday over parts of Nevada, Utah, and the Arizona Strip. Right now we're a little too far out, but we will see that fire potential certainly increase this weekend. On Monday, that trough of low pressure and cold front move to the east. We still remain with dry conditions across the area, especially across Nevada, Utah, and the Arizona Strip, with low to moderate fire potential. Overall forecast amount of precipitation for the next 7 days, which does include what we saw on the 3-day map. Again, most of the precipitation is targeted in the north. The 8 to 14-day outlook, which takes us into the second and third week of June, shows still warm conditions across the Great Basin with below normal precipitation in the north. So we will start to see some of that drying trend reverse and move across parts of Idaho into northern Nevada. And we will start to see the precipitation increase over parts of southern and eastern Utah. That concludes our webcast for today. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, check back tomorrow for the latest updates.